Welcome back, Magic Tribe. I hope all of you have had a beautiful day and you're ready to get into our next episode. This is episode number 14, so we're going to be discussing the number 5 today and change. So, for those of you just joining us, I am Nina Diedrich, the Magic Mom, and thank you so much for joining our tribe. For those of you returning, I'm overwhelmingly grateful for your presence in my life every single day, and I thank you so much for coming back again today. So, we're going to do something a little bit fun with the tarot cards today, too, and I'm going to do what we call a story spread, and I'm actually going to just keep picking cards out of the deck and telling the story that they have to say about what we're all kind of going through collectively as we learn how to shift with the change. Hello, Bridget. I love the number 5 too. I was born on November 5th, so, 5's my number. It's also the number of the Hierophant card, which is the number for authority and all things logical and steady, right? So, we're going to kick it off today. I'm going to pull a couple cards out of the Divine Wisdom deck just to get an overview about what I'm going to channel through for the message for you guys for today. And going into tomorrow, because tomorrow's my day off. So, hello, Rebecca. I'm so glad to see you. And you're just in time. So, we got 2 right off that. Okay. Oh, let's try that again. Let's try these really fast. There we go. These get stuck together. Okay, let's try. Oh, here we go, right here. There's 1. Okay, so our question that we've been asking ourselves is pretty apt for this. So I love this picture. And it's actually more of a teal color. There we go. That kind of shows the real color a little bit better. Okay, so it says, are you going to be in a place called fear or in a place called love? Where are you? And where are you coming from as you encounter your life today? So this is a great question for us to always be continually asking ourselves all the time. Stella, hey, stop. You're jiggling everything. We're on watch today with Miss Stella. She's having little mini seizures again, so I could use some prayers for her if you guys wouldn't mind. That would be great. Okay, so our other one is one that keeps popping out quite a bit. And this looks very much like the area around me that I live in. It says, love is the ultimate reality. It is the only, the all. The feeling of love is your experience of source. In highest truth, love is all there is, all there was, and all there ever will be. When you move into the absolute, you move into love, right? And that's where we need to be realigning ourselves right now as we go through our lives, okay? So those are both excellent reminders. Let's get one more. So one thing that we all kind of need to really kind of wrap our heads around all of this is during this process, there's going to be a lot of things that change, right? Oh, I like this card. Okay, so we had this one the other day, right? It's the path diverging in the woods, right? It says, you always get what you create, and you are always creating. I do not make a judgment about the creations that you conjure. However, I simply empower you to conjure more and more and more and more. If you don't like what you've just created, choose again. Okay? And this is what we're all learning how to do is choose again. Hello, Nara. I love you. I'm always grateful for all of your presence here with me as we all kind of shift through this process together, okay? And easy door. this is also something that we really need to get our heads wrapped around right now too, is that we're always creating. So whatever vibration you're putting out now, 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes away from now, that's going to be what you're creating in your, future. Or, there's no time, but, in the continuation of your reality, right? Because everything goes in cycles. It's all a big circle, right? And we keep coming around to the same things because we need to learn how to deal with them in different ways. Change isn't always a one size fits all thing, and we all kind of deal with it differently, and no one really has the right way to do that, but we do all have to learn how to do it, right? Adaptability is really one of the best human traits, it's the reason why we're still here after millennia, because we can adapt to situations. So things don't always have to stay the same way they've always been. You can make new rules, right? As long as nobody's getting hurt. That really is the only rule. Now, granted, sometimes, yes, people's egos are going to get hurt by your choices, but that doesn't mean that you're actually hurting their soul. There's a difference, right? Actively making the choice to love yourself instead of putting someone else before you isn't really an act of love. It's an act of punishment, for lack of a better word. We do that when we feel like we're not enough. And we don't have to do that anymore, okay? Because we are enough. We've always been enough. And I'm just going to keep repeating it until we all remember. And that, remembering is really us just becoming aware of the fact that, we are all part of the same whole. And, we are all going through the same processes. Yes, they may look different on the outside, but ultimately it's all really the same process. And I think if we can shift our thinking sometimes that way to realize that people only work from their own frame of reference and what they know, it's a little bit easier sometimes to forgive things, and let it go. And I don't mean forget by forgive. I just mean by letting it go and not having it be something that you're emotionally triggered by. It's just something that happened once upon a time, and now you just take it out to look at it every once in a while as a reminder of where you don't want to go again. So I think that's, pretty much the biggest question that we've gotten from all three of these cards is, are you going to be in a place called love or fear? Because love is really the only reality that there is. And if you're not choosing love, you're choosing the illusion, right? And that's where, this card comes in, the path. You always get what you create, but what are you creating? And where are you creating it from? I think I'm going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot to do our story session. And then we'll clarify at the end with The Universe Has Your Back. Okay? So, as we're going into today, into tomorrow, what is it that we really need to look at? Right? This card, we need to look at our new abilities, even if they scare the shit out of us, and realize they are the gifts we've been given by Source to help further our evolution of our soul, right? So how are we going to, show that to everyone, I guess? I love this card. By just throwing it out there, right? So we have the World card, 21, knowing that everything's come full circle and you're exactly where you need to be, right? So we go from being shocked over this new ability to realizing that we've been given the world, right? And boy, is she celebrating, right? That's kind of where I want to be right now. Hello, Fox Mama. May favor follow you wherever you go as well. So let's see what happens after the World card, right? We have the King of Swords. So now we're decisively knowing which way we need to go to get what we want, and we're ready to do it. No more bones, no more pissing and moaning. It's time, right? And, the shifting planets are going to bring that about a little bit more profoundly lately, I guess, for lack of a better word. If you don't make the choice, it will be made for you. Remember. And then next we have... Oh, we pulled 2. Ooh, I like this actually. So we have the Queen of Swords now. I'm knocking stuff over here. The Queen of Swords, right? She is the no nonsense queen. She's the one who doesn't accept excuses. She's not the enabler, right? She's like, if you want something, go out and get it. Here, in fact, take my sword and do it, right? Where the king's just like, this is how you need to do it, right? And it came out with the Lovers. And this isn't about our relationships, is it? This is about our perspective on our choices, right? But it will lead to our union with ourselves. And then our union with ourselves will lead to our union with whoever we're meant to be with, right? Because you've remembered who you are. And that, like a magnet, draws to you the one meant for you. But you have to remember who you are first. And sometimes that means going through the knowing of who you're not. Or the dark night of the soul, as some people like to call it. Aw, we're all queens, babe. All of us, but thank you. We have another queen. The Queen of Wands this time, though, right? She's kind of the queen of things being handed to her. She's the beauty queen of the deck. She just knows that everything she needs is going to be handed to her, whether, she does anything or not. It's the knowledge that there is no lack in the world, and everything she needs is going to be presented to her as she needs it. Because who's going to say no to her and this dragon? You'd be bonkers too, right? Even the cat's giving her flowers. So, what comes after the realization that we are worth every single bit of what we're receiving right now? Ooh. And here's our number, 14. Temperance, right? She's a little wonky. She's half there and half not, right? Perfectly balanced and poised in the middle. She's found her center. Half chaos and half frivolity. Right? The point in all of our lives that we're really trying to seek right now. And I think as we keep going through this process, it's going to become easier and easier for us to go back to that point with, not so much effort. And also, another side note, if any of you guys have been having massive neck and upper back pain, it has to do with the energetics that are coming through right now. So you're not dying. Everything's fine. Take a ginormous salt bath and maybe even a couple of ibuprofen. And it'll go away within the next couple days. Because I know I have felt like a freaking train wreck the last few days. Oh, 2 want to come out next. Okay, so we had Temperance after the Queen of Wands, and now we know we have a choice to make, right? So what are we going to choose? Which avenue are we going to go down now? What's going to make us happiest, right? And we're no longer choosing the things that make us unhappy, right? Look, see, none of the choices on this really are all that bad, you know? Power, fame, abundance, knowledge, love, money, notoriety, right? In and of themselves, none of these things are bad. It's only when we add the fear of them not ever being there again that the lack comes in, and then it becomes something different. Instead, we need to just be celebrating all of the abundance coming into our lives, right? With our friends and loved ones and the people on the same wave as us. And not everybody is going to be able to come along on the same timeline as you. And that's something you're going to kind of have to wrap your head around too. Next in the story. Ooh, we have the 9 of Pentacles, right? This is realizing that we can now sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? We've all done the hard work. Now it's time to enjoy the good stuff. Boy, am I freaking ready for that. But that's not to say that there's not still going to be some times where we have to go fly into battle to protect that, right? And that's okay. That's part of the process as well, right? The wheel is perpetually turning, and sometimes you're on the top, and, well, sometimes you have to fight your way back to the top. But it's going to be a lot easier for us to level that out. Ooh, we get 2 that came out next. Lots of 7s coming out. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, right? And it comes out with the Knight of Pentacles. So this tells me that we have some news coming in here soon that's going to, well, show to us that, well, our gifts are arriving. Our messages from Source are coming in big and small ways, right? The question is, are you getting them? And if you're not connecting with yourself, chances are you're not. Ooh, 2 again. Okay, so, and if you're not, this is what you're dealing with right now. The 10 of Swords, right? Feeling like you've been left and abandoned and that nobody cares, right? Crying over the spilled milk instead of picking them up, brushing yourself off, and realizing there's still 2 perfectly good glasses on the table, not to mention all the other stuff, and a full bottle of wine. So there really is no problem, is there? And if you do find yourself getting stuck in that spot, remember that even those that have everything sometimes walk away from all of it because it really means nothing to them, because they still don't love themselves. And if you still don't love yourself, you still have to go on this journey of solitude so that you can learn how to love yourself, so that then the universe can love you too and stop giving you the challenges that you expect. Because when we get stuck in this spot where we, fear getting up and going out of the door, because if we leave this behind, well, we may not ever get anything again, and we just trap ourselves, like a bird in a cage, constantly looking at the window, knowing that the door is open, but never having the courage to get up because you're afraid of that one time that you did and got hurt. right? But who's to say that's going to happen again? Because didn't you learn the lesson the first time? And the reason it really happened that way was because that was what you had expected to happen. And now we're teaching ourselves how to have new expectations, right? It's a brand new day and a brand new journey. The question just is, what will you choose? Which way will you go, right? Again, the path diverging, and this guy going, hey, I'll help you flip the coin to figure it out. Because if you don't choose, then I'm going to flip this coin and just give you whatever it is. Oh, I love you too, Fox Mama. At least somebody thinks so. And this is where our solidarity and our emotions comes from. Our third queen, the Queen of Cups, right? She's the queen of abundance. In a different way, though, than the Queen of Wands. She's the queen of emotional abundance. She's kind of like the archetype for our divine feminine aspect. It's also a Scorpio card for those that are Scorpios, right? This is our highest aspect, the one we strive to reach by transforming our Scorpion selves into our higher eagle aspect and realizing that we really are the observer and not the bug. And next, after that knowledge comes what? The sun. And I love the celebration they always have in these cards. Everyday Witch Tarot is one of my favorites. Thank you, Taylor, for getting it for me. And it's a 19, so that's a 10. It's a completion card, right? This is us coming full circle again and knowing, even though sometimes things are bad, they'll be good again soon enough. And resting easy in that knowledge, just like the Queen of Cups. And then, knowing when the Tower moments do happen. She always looks a little bit sheepish in this card. I love the whole lack of drama in this. It just shows that, well, she may have done something that she regrets and made a little oops, and she's remorseful, but in a way, she's still finding the humor in it as well, right? The Tower card's also a 16, so that's a 7, and 7 is about our psychic abilities and things like that too. So there's going to be some mishaps as we kind of delve into our new abilities too, and you need to not be afraid of that. You're more than likely not going to hurt anybody, but you may have some good stories to tell later on about the mishaps. But we have to stay solid in the knowledge that we are also this King of Cups card too as well. He looks like he's out in the middle of the ocean, but it's really just a big wading pool, right? He picked this spot because, well, it's the best spot there is for him to survey all of the things that he loves the most, right? Including that little mermaid in the background. So it's kind of us coming to that center place in ourselves where we realize that, you know, even our love relationships are taking a turn. And as long as we're making correct choices and choosing with our soul instead of our ego, that's where we're going to end up, right? And some of us are realizing that we fucking ended up there without really having to do much of anything, and except for our own shadow work, you know. And then our divine partners just kind of snuck it into the background, and, you know, next thing we know, we're in this completely blissful relationship that's complete 180 from the one we were in before that we were running away from, right? But all we had to do was let go of the fact that that's not what we deserve anymore. And then the universe is like, sweet, now I can give you this. I've been waiting for so long. So glad you finally saw the light. Because now, here's your gift. 6 of Cups, right? All things loving and sweet and nostalgic, right? These are the things that we wished for as children, and they're sort of kind of fallen into our lap now that we've gone through all of our processes. Because we've harnessed this aspect of ourselves, right? My favorite card in all of the decks, the High Priestess, the 2. Right after the I am comes the what? I do. And after the Magician creates, the High Priestess does. And that's how the tarot starts, right? The story begins there. And this is a pretty good spot to end, isn't it? The 10 of Pentacles, the ultimate abundance. Kind of like the 10 of Cups, but from a financial perspective. Or, yeah, pretty much. It's all things physical when it's the coins. So it's finding your perfect house and, all the things that go with your perfect accompaniments that you achieved through the 10 of Cups, which was finding your emotional contentment. This is finding your physical contentment. And how are we going to do that? By letting go of this 5 of Pentacles perspective. You are not on the outside looking in. All good things are not happening to everybody else and not you. And if they are, it's because you're keeping them out. Shift your perspective and realize that, like the 2 of Wands, you're a magnet for everything coming to you. So, with your vibration that you currently have, what are you magnetizing to yourself right now? And if it's something other than what you want, how can you change that? Let's go to the universe has your back to ask that particular question. Because with all great changes, we must have new perspectives, right? When I lean toward love, I am led, right? And instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. So if you want to know how to gain access to your highest aspect in the fastest way, meditate. But meditate on something that isn't strictly centered on you. Look at it from a different perspective and say, how can I do something today that's for the highest good of all things? What would our answer be then? That is when we realize there's a stream of love supporting your dreams. And sometimes all we have to do is ask. And why do we need to ask? Because the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Right? And then when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. You cannot be knocked off of your horse if you are aligned with the loving reality of the universe. And know that your hope in the world is the conduit for miracles. Because hope is where miracles spring from. Because they couldn't happen if somebody didn't first hope for it. So don't ever lose your hope that things can be different than they are. They always can. And I'm going to leave you with these two reminders. Your energy creates your reality, and what you focus on is what you will manifest. So remember, when you focus on your inner light, you see the world through the lens of love instead of the lens of fear. And then everything doesn't seem quite so bad. So if it seems bad right now, well, do something that makes it seem not so bad. And stop listening to the fear mongers. All is right in the world. All you have to do is learn to love yourself so the world can love you too. Right? That's exactly right, Fox Mama. Love is my sword, joy is my shield, and faith is my armor. Because love is all there is, all there ever was, and all there ever will be. Because fear is just false evidence appearing real. It's just there to keep you from remembering who and what you really are. A divine creator. A joy to all of creation as well. So go out and be that joy today. And know I'll be thinking of all of you tomorrow as I enjoy my day off with my husband and my family and prepare for the crazy shenanigans that are going to be my life next week. We have a lot of family coming in from out of town, and I am super excited that I'm going to have all of my girls here with their significant others. I'm super, super excited. And my youngest is also going to be up too, so it'll be pretty busy. So the live stream times are going to be possibly kind of chaotic next week. So just preparing you ahead of time and letting you all know over the next week or so, I'm going to be a little bit scattered and not quite as organized as I normally am. So, but it should be a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing my oldest daughter and squeezing her beautiful pregnant self. So, today's energy is a lot more chill than yesterday's, thank goodness. So, enjoy it before the next wave comes in. And know that we here at Magic Mom Ministries love, appreciate, and are in full support of all of you and your journeys. And a little side note, I did quite a bit of revamping on the website last night and was up way past my bedtime. And I would love it if you guys could all go and check it out and then give me your feedback on it. I've never quite done something like this on this much of a scale. So there's a few starter recipes on there and some other fun stuff, links to all of the Truth and Tarot videos, a little about me. There's a couple lists on there with Amazon links that I've also put in the description box below. They are affiliate links, so yes, I do get a little bit of a commission if you do buy stuff off of those, but it does not cost you anything more, just to let you know. But I did want to link all of most of the tarot decks, and I think I missed a couple of them, but I've listed most of the tarot decks I have and the books that I've done over the last 640 video process. I cannot believe that I've done that many videos. It's kind of crazy. But onwards and upwards, right? So Thank you. I plan on it, and I love all of you, and I'm looking forward to working with those of you who are ready to get started in this process. And I did put a few notes too about the coaching. You do not have to commit to more than 1 week at a time. It is strictly on a week by week basis, so that is not a worry. And also, if you do the coaching, that does come with a free life purpose reading, which is the one that you did, Rebecca. The 111. It's normally $111 for this, and I'm giving it to you guys for free as a bonus for signing up as new clients for the weekly coaching and mentorship. And I'm super excited to start that with everybody. Also watch the website because I'm putting up new recipes and things like that all the time. And that's all free. And I think that's it. I guess if I forgot anything, I'll just try to remember and tell you guys on Thursday when I see you. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for all of you joining me. It's always such a pleasure to see all of your lovely comments as I'm sitting here rambling. And it was fun doing the story spread with you guys too. It's always funny to see so many cards coming out saying the same things. Lets me know that, well, I'm not so crazy after all. So that's it. Remember, be good. And you're worth it. All of it. Don't ever forget that. And if you need a reminder, you know where I am. So have fun exploring all the new stuff. And know I love you all beyond measure. And may favor follow all of you wherever you go today and always. Bye now. Be good, everybody.